Looking to buy or sell in the London area? The Finish Line Realty team of Tracy, Ellis, and Jennifer Hatch at PC 275 is here to help. List your property for as low as 2.75% total commission with this amazing team. Tracy and Jen are a dynamic duo in the real estate world, dedicated to making your buying or selling experience smooth and successful. They are not only passionate about real estate, but also big supporters of racing, partnering with talented racers like Phil Givens and Connor Ellis. Contact them today and cross that finish line together. We'd like to welcome back Recap Recovery Drink to the Stickers and Scuffs partner list in 2025. Revitalize your body after a tough workout with their refreshing flavors. They've got original, they've got cherry lime, and a newer flavor in mango tangerine. Packed with electrolytes and antioxidants, Recap Recovery replenishes and rehydrates your body. Stay energized and hydrated with Recap, who are a proud sponsor of our good friend Dexter Stacy. Get yours today at recap-products.com and gear up for the racing season ahead. Refresh, reload, and recover with Recap, your go-to drink for the ultimate post-workout recovery.
Stickers and scuffs, we ride. Interviewing drivers side by side, from the pits to winning strides. Stickers and scuffs, our racing guide. Hear the roar and feel the speed. Every driver chasing dreams, from the green flag to the win. Kevin Cradle, let's begin. Stickers and scuffs, we ride. Interviewing drivers side by side, from the pits to winning strides. Stickers and scuffs, our racing guide. Engines roaring, crowds alive, Ontario pride by the mile. Lap by lap on the move, catch the thrill in every groove. Stickers and scuffs, we ride. Interviewing.
What's going on, everybody? We're back with a whole new episode here, and looks a little bit different this week. Cam's a little bit under the weather, dealing with some fallout from Motorama, but we got Jon Morrison winging for us, so we'll start there. How's it going this week, John?
Man, it's going good. I'm still riding the high from Motorama,
Yep.
especially going through the videos. I'm going to be honest. I was just watching our interview with Ken at Motorama just to get some notes for tonight. But
Yep.
I'm excited to be here. Thank you guys for having me.
This is awesome that we haven't done it this way before, where you and I are
Nope.
co-hosting together. So this is a cool way to go at it. And as you said, you're pre-acquainted here with Ken Mercer of the Southern Ontario Modified Association. Easy for me to say. Welcome, Ken. Thanks for being here.
My pleasure. Thank you very much for having me.
Well, let's get right into it. Tell us a little bit about the series. It's four-cylinder open wheel racing. Am I right?
It is. We are four-cylinder open wheel modifieds. Class has been around 50 years, but about 5 years ago, it kind of petered away. There was probably two or three cars left around, and you know what? There was just nothing happening. And 5 years ago, I talked to the track owner at Flamborough, John Caselli, and I said, John, what are you doing with the Pro Fours? He said, oh, he said, I'm just so tired of not having enough cars and not having a show. And I said, John, I'd like to take the club over and try to put it back together again. And John, being John, said, good luck, Ken. And and the rest has been kind of history. We got together a few of the car owners and sat down with them and said, you interested in going racing? And you know what? They did. They were interested, and you know what? It's been quite the journey. It really has.
Yeah, honestly, watching you guys grow from the 3 to 4 cars, because me being a Flamborough native, I guess you guys want to say, I watched the Soma mods. Well, and that's the problem. Graydon, don't get. I was messing up. I kept calling them Pro 4 modifieds the entire time Ken was up. So And to this day, I still always just call them Pro 4 modifieds, but it's nice to see the car count grow from 3 to 5 cars on track. And I was like, I'm over there going watching. I'm like, man, why are these guys here? Thankful to have you guys, step out, grow the car club because we talked at Motorama. You guys have close to what 20, almost 30 cars registered. I think you were talking about. You think
Yeah, we
about
do.
the
We got
30 car
20, we
range?
have 27 cars registered. I think we're going to probably end up with probably 16 to 18 cars on a regular night. That's kind of what I feel is going to happen here. The cars are there. We've brought 6 cars up out of the U.S. that track down in Florida had closed down. And I went down and bought them, and I've been shipping them up. I have 5 of them now in Ontario. We got one more to pick up down there. Nice equipment, nice cars, good competitive equipment, and they show well, and they handle well, and we've got new young drivers in them, and you know what? It's just such a cool change that's happened here. And we were talking about 5 years ago. We had 2 cars, and Mark Lucas and myself, we said, you know what, let's see if we can make this work. Mark Lucas has been around the club for a lot of years, and so Mark and I, we took the 2 cars and we did a show at one of the local tracks, and it was just the 2 of us. And Mark won one race and I won the other one, and it was kind of fun, but I know now Mark let me win because I now race with him on a regular show. And let me tell you, the man is just such a talented driver, and he's offered to come out with our new drivers and work with them and help them get their wheels underneath of them and their feet underneath of them and what it takes to keep a car together. And it's that whole energy that's come along with this club is to put together a group of guys just to go have fun. And that's been sort of our focus is you know what, there's lots of clubs out there that have great racing, and but it's just so focused on only the win, and our win is when we get guys that drive their cars back on the trailer at the end of the night, when we get fathers and sons that are teams together, fathers and sons that race together, husbands and wives that race together. And if you don't think it's competitive, you need to just step out one night and watch these guys because those old guys, they won't give you an inch out there, let me tell you.
And that's the special part of it, Ken, as you just alluded to, that you're bringing recruiting talent, and the young talent is being coached, groomed, and brought along in every sense of the word in the club atmosphere where they can lean on veteran experience, and then there's no better way to develop as a driver. Speaking from experience is just
Oh,
get out there and follow in their wheels and learn how to go wheel to wheel without
oh
getting
yeah.
dirty and leaning on each other,
Oh,
because open wheel is a discipline in itself, right?
oh, it
Where
is.
um,
Absolutely.
it's a
Yeah.
finesse type thing where it's not about beating and banging, it's about outrunning line work
Well,
and that sort of thing, right?
it's about driving. It's about carrying your line. It's about respect to other people. And I call it a stepping stone ladder of racing, Pro 4. And we have young drivers coming up out of karting that's coming into our class. One of our young guys, he's looking at Oswego to run dirt, and he wants more track time, more seat time, and he comes in and runs in our class as well to get that pavement seat time. We have several young guys that come up out of karting. We have older drivers, and I'm one of them that I raced open wheel back in the 80s. We ran Holland, New York. We ran Flamborough with guys like Harry Nicholson. He started a class called Cora, which was Canadian Outlaw Racing Association, which were Pintos and Gremlins and stuff like that. And we did that. And now this is sort of a fun side for me. I get to come back and race actually with my son and my grandson. So we're having fun with the whole package. And we have a husband and wife team that they each drive a car, which is Gorilla Racing, Kelly Martin and Cliff Hodgkinson and their husband and wife, and they race. And you know what? It's just fabulous. It's just awesome to see. So.
That's a whole new meaning for date night, right?
Well, we have tons of husband and wife teams, father, sons, and every night after the race we have a big barbecue. It's just part of what we do. It's just part of saying, "Hey guys, we enjoyed the track. Let's just go and have fun," and that's where we are.
That's definitely the way it should be. You alluded it to it right there. That you got husband and wives, you got father, sons, and then you just touched on it just a little bit there that you got to race with your son and your grandson. And what was that like for you?
Oh wow, that was incredible. I really believe in my family and my boys. I had two sons, and my sons they have a son and daughter each, and we have the opportunity to race with three generations on the track. And this year at Flamborough, Flamborough gave us a one lap with three generations side by side before our feature race, and. You know what? I looked out my window at my son and my grandson, and you know what? There was no way you could take that smile off my face to see my son and my grandson out there. And it's a matter now that we got to play safe, and we one of the things we do with our class is that all our cars are we do all the techs on our cars on all the cars in our class, and we really lean on them for safety throughout every part of the car, whether it be driver safety equipment or car being properly looked after. It's something we do on a regular nightly basis with all our drivers. Is and now that I have my son and my grandson out there, I lean on them even harder. Go out and race, have fun, but you know what? Respect each other. Respect each other. It's open wheel. It's not bump, shove, and push, and
Mhm,
giving guy the bumper to get out of the way. It's a matter of, you know what? Respect them, and when you get your chance to make the move, make your move.
mhm.
And do it and be smart. So
That's
something we work
amazing.
on. Yeah,
Yeah. And something else that I believe that you guys are very passionate about, and it's what every racing series should be passionate about, is the fan experience and what it means to have people in the stands watching you. And you guys get involved in doing bike giveaways and
absolutely,
giving back to the fans while you're
absolutely,
there. So talk a
absolutely.
little bit about that, Ken, involving the fans at
Well,
that level.
first of all, every night and every track that we go to, we give out at least one bicycle to the kids. It's usually two bikes a night that we're there. We also give out a $50 bill to some lady in the grandstand because we know that she's been dragged out by her husband to be at that show. And this year, the sponsor for that is Trusted Auto out of Kitchener.
Mhm.
They put up the $100. They put up $100. $50 goes to some lucky lady in the grandstand. The other $50 goes to someone other than first place in our club. So it's sort of like a bridesmaid award that just goes back. We never know who's going to get that during the night, and it's picked months in advance, and we have an envelope, and that night it goes to that driver. Um, we also have a tent that's usually set up just outside the track at Flamborough, and we welcome anybody from the track after the race to come over and join us. We usually have a big barbecue going there. We already have booked in a musician for 2 nights that were there.
Nice.
And you know what? You're welcome to come over and have a burger or cold pop, whatever the boys have there, and say hello and talk to the drivers, young and old, and have a couple of laughs because if, at the end of the night, you got to have really tough shoulders because if I make a stupid move out there, they're going to tell me, let me, yeah, so yeah,
That's awesome. Uh, Another fan thing. We're good since we're talking on the topic of fans involvement right now. I remember a couple years ago, well, it's this again. This is one of those full circle moments for me right here, which is I think is gonna be funny as hell. But a couple years ago, with the Soma mods, you guys would give out pieces of paper to kids in the stands, if I
We
remember
do.
correctly.
We do.
And if the driver wins,
Yep.
and the kid has essentially the golden ticket.
Yep.
I mean, they would get a prize. My kids, and this is where the full circle moment's going to come in here. My kids, the last time they came out to Flamborough Speedway when the Soma mods were competing, they had your ticket.
Nice.
Well,
I
if I
just
remember
realized
correctly,
that.
that night I parked against the wall with a little bit of help.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what, we do that. We do that every night. We give them a card out, and we try to give it out to the kids in the grandstand, and it says, if this car wins the feature, you win $50 or you
Yeah.
win a bicycle. Um, and we have different things from our sponsors. We have so many sponsors that we always have we always have bling to give out to the kids, and we have fun with it. And we try to put up in the grandstand so when the future race pulls out on the track, it's sort of like, oh, geez, I hope that number
Yeah.
26 wins tonight because I'm getting something, you know. And we do a ton of it, and we have so much fun with it. At the end of the night, they come over into the pits, or after that race, they come over into the pits and pick up whatever they have. They bring their card over, and we get to talk to them. We get to take their pictures beside one of the cars, and we post it on our pages. So we have fun with it.
It's I like the sound of this, and definitely going to have to check out this whole barbecue thing because,
So do I. I'm going to be
yeah,
Absolutely.
there a few
you got to
times.
just
Absolutely.
follow your nose after the checkered flag flies and smell the burgers and stuff. But I mean, to your point though, Ken, like like the modified discipline really grew in popularity, kind of in the northeastern U.S. Many decades ago, and really rose to popularity in the '70s here. I would say somewhere around there, right? And
Yep. Yeah.
it's a really cool thing to hear you talk about the generational aspect of it because you're there teaching your son who's teaching and the trickle down effect to your grandson's generation, but then at the same time whether your son, your grandson, whoever is learning at the same time about those racing routes that date back 50 plus years of
Absolutely.
the open wheel discipline. So I mean it's really important to keep that aspect of the racing history alive, right?
Yeah, it sure is. The Meservey family out of New Hampshire, they started the Pro Fours back probably 50 plus years ago.
Right.
And I'm still in contact with their family. I talk to them probably on a monthly basis. We've been talking about putting together a an American Canadian race night. We've also been talking about trying to put together something for Speed Week at Daytona in 2027. So it's something that we're starting to work on. Their class has grown just like our class has.
Good.
They kind of died off with COVID just like we did, and they're a great group of people down there. They want to come race us. We want to take a few cars down to visit them, and we're looking at. I believe Vermont area where sort of our meeting group is. We're going to meet there
Oh,
at their speedways. Barrie, Vermont, I believe is
Mhm.
the track that we've been talking about. Um, but like you say, it started out of the U.S. It trickled up this way, and it's big families and they're good people. I remember sitting down and talking with one of the organizers down there, and I said, "Look, I said our class has sort of become just a bunch of guys having fun," and he says, "You know what? We're doing exactly the same thing." I was at Motorama 2 years ago and a lady came up and stood back and looked at our booth and she looked at it and she goes, Pro 4, Pro 4. I says, yeah. She says, my husband raced in that years ago and they used to call it the Gentleman's Club of Racing. And I'm going to tell you, it's probably one of the greatest ways I've heard anybody put our club, and it's something that we're really trying to do, and we're really trying to say the ladies and gentlemen's club of racing. We have had two ladies in our club running. We now have one in there, and I'm hoping more come out. It's you know what? It's good, clean fun, and very respectful to anybody that does come into our club.
now I'm really hoping that's Thunder Road Speedway is what
It is
there's
Thunder Road. It
I
is.
started looking up as soon as you were talking about it. I'm like, I'm gonna find this track right now.
Yeah.
It looks it looks like an absolute beautiful facility, and I
Yeah.
think that'd be great for you guys to go to. Um, and obviously going to speed weeks, like how cool would that be? Like
I know. I know.
the amount of exposure
I
for
know
you
we're,
guys like would be insane.
yeah. You know what? We've had so many great things happen with our club. When we were trying to get it off the ground, we were trying to put some kind of series together. It seems like a token term, but a company out of Brantford by the name of BCW Lumber Plywood and Kitchens are very family oriented, and when I talked to them about what we were trying to do, they came on board, and I wasn't sure I was going to be able to keep them for the next year, but they're now heading into their, I think, fourth year now with us,
Wow.
and they like the idea of family and being involved, and so they've stayed with us. So yeah,
When you're selling the family aspect of it and the fun aspect of it, it obviously has to tie into the financial aspect of it and having um, the common engine configurations. That sort of like your rules are with cost effectiveness in mind. If I'm saying that
absolutely.
correctly, Ken, right?
Abs Absolutely, absolutely. Our rules for many years said that we had to run a 2.3 Ford engine. We were allowed to run 2-liter Fords. When I took over the club, one of the things I sat down with was all the rules and said, okay, how do we make this work so people can afford to go racing? We raced in it years ago. And it got darn expensive. It really did. We were running Esslinger engines, and they were 15,000 US at the time, and and we had a no rev limit on them,
I was gonna
and
say like sustained high
oh yeah.
and that sort of thing.
Oh yeah, and they weren't staying together, so it cost money. So one of the things I put into the rules was that we dropped the RPMs on them and got them down so we could help keep the engines together. Last year we blew one engine over the whole year, and that wasn't even a cause of a high rev. It was a valve that went out on an engine,
Mhm.
and a young lad lost an engine. But in the last 3 years, that was the only engine we lost all year. So
That's
uh,
wear and tear. I mean, it
that's
happens.
wear and tear, absolutely. So
Exactly. Yeah.
and you know what? We've got some great rules in there to keep it fair for everybody. I remember going to a race in Selinsgrove, Pennsylvania, when I was a young man, and I watched the sprint guys run, and these were alcohol injected. They were just incredible. And I said to the man, I said, "What kind of rules you guys run?" Guy goes, "Rules." He says, "Well, I have no rules." He says, "We have rules people that cheat." And and they stuck in my brain, that so true. You had to make it simple, and you had to make it so people don't cheat. And there'll always be gray areas, but we've tried to work around those and work with people that want to have fun. And if we can put those things together, we can keep the cost of racing down.
Hmm.
We could make it so people go out and have fun on a Saturday night. And you know what? And if they got to go to work on Monday morning, they can go to work. They're not all banged up. So those sort of some of our premises that we wanted to work with. So that's what we tried to do, and we're getting there. It all takes time.
I was gonna say I always know when the Soma mods are now competing because as Ken, you and I talked in Motorama, there's a gentleman who works right around the corner from my job in Bolton. And when I see that green Jeep on Friday, I know the Soma mods are racing because they're because right behind him he's got the trailer ready to go to the track.
He's one of the funniest guys we have. That's we call him double zero Maitland, and he just loves it. He has a brand new car this year that is being built, and he is so excited. I was talking to Brad today, and like it's that kind of energy that's come into our club that's helped it grow, and so supportive. So yeah.
I do kind of want to know a little bit more about these cars because they are very interesting looking. No two look the same. Some look like a tour type modified, and then some you got one guy, I don't even know what he's done to it, but it's literally just the roof of a car. What 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 are these cars like, and what are the rules in terms of body and what they need? Because like I said, that one there's like absolutely no roof to it. I don't even know what car it is. If you can help me out with that as well, that'd be great.
Well, we do have good rules for our frame and our cage. Okay, but
As you
what
should.
yep, and but other than that, it has to be open wheel. The front has to be open wheel. The right rear has to be an open wheel. The inside left can be tucked into a body if you wanted to. Whether you run a roof or not is your choice. So we keep it pretty open there for people that want to, experiment a little bit with them and have some fun. But other than that, you know what? We keep it pretty open to the guys. We have one gentleman, an older man that runs with us, Victor Rise, and he has an old style body, an old style coupe body on it. And if you ever get a chance, that car's there. It's a green number 82, I believe. That if you ever get a chance to walk up and have a look at the workmanship around that car, he's an old machinist, and you know what? Spacers and washers don't exist on that. Everything fits perfect. It's just a piece of art. And he comes out and has fun with it. He runs the middle of the pack and doesn't matter, just has fun and some guys have just the bare minimum, 2x3 chassis, good solid cage, usually a pretty decent engine in there.
Mhm.
Uh, People tend to take the time to put together a good 2.3. We do allow Hondas. I don't think we have any Toyotas, but some of the guys in the U.S. run the Toyotas.
Mhm.
We did an experimental a couple years ago with a V6. The V6 is still is an experimental engine that doesn't have a lot of modifications done to it. It's 2.8, 3.4 Chevy
Yeah.
that the guys are welcome to try out. It ran really well, and you know what? I'm sure we'll see more of them. So we're pretty open to the engine. We do have rules though that everybody does have rev limiters, and it's set depending on what engine you have and what you've done to it.
Well, it definitely sounds that you guys are making every stride to welcome in both competitors, young and veteran, and fans alike. What do you have in store for 2025, Ken? What's the season looking like?
Wow, we have a great season coming up. We normally book 8 races. We have 10 this year.
Nice,
We have 8 at Flamborough. Have one at Sable Beach, and we have one at Sunset this year.
nice.
Really looking forward to them. Great hosts. They've stepped up to us, and we're looking forward to putting on a show for them. But we also have one race in there that's on our calendar that's just a fun night, and it has nothing to do with points. It's where guys can, if they want their wives to drive that night, or they want their
Oh, oh.
sons or daughters or friends that have been talking about getting into racing, they're coming out for that fun night, and they're going to take the cars that night. And then the last race of the night is a dash for cash. And we're just going to put some cash up on the table and no points and say, guys, do whatever you want, go for it.
Checkers or wreckers.
But we do have 2 weeks between that and the next race. So if something does happen, we try to always keep the 2 weeks in between so we can keep these things together.
That is great scheduling right there.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you got to like that also adds to the whole layer where you're not feeling like you're under the gun week to week, that you have a little bit of time to catch a breather, even if it's just to turn the car around and get it ready for the next race. But if you have to make repairs, you have the luxury of a bit of time.
A lot of our people have cottages, they have trailers, they have homes elsewhere, they have families, they have young kids. And
Hmm.
the reason we put the 2 weeks or three weeks in between is go enjoy your family and have fun. And then you know what? Saturday night comes that 2 weeks away. We'll see you at the track. The barbecue's on. Bring your family. Come and have a few laughs and have a good, enjoyable night. That's what we're all about.
That's awesome. You want that great family atmosphere, and I love it that you guys are putting family first on and off the track. That is, it's very admirable of you guys because you don't see that in a lot of divisions or even series or even at the home track itself where guys are competing week in and week out. So I got to give you guys, kudos for putting family first.
We had a great evening last year. One of our sponsors is the Greedy family, Jack and John Greedy. You know the name from racing over many years. Um, it was, I believe, Thanksgiving. He said he's one of our sponsors for one of our nights, and he said, I'm cooking that night. And he brought out the deep fryer, and he had two big turkeys
Oh,
on. We had two big turkeys cooking. We had vegetables. We had homemade pie. We saw John and Frank Caselli. We saw the whole crew from down there come over to our pits, and we had a great big Thanksgiving dinner down there, and it was all courtesy of one of our sponsors. And it's the kind of things that we're really promoting. And if you happen to be around our area at the end of a night and you'd like to come in and say hello to anybody, the doors and the gates always open there. So we really believe in that.
I don't know. John and I are both family guys. This sounds like we got a planned trip to take the kids down for some car racing and barbecue action, eh, John?
Yeah.
buddy, I was just thinking the same thing. I was like, man, first of all, where's been my invite the entire time? And why have I never noticed that you guys have been having barbecues over there? Because I walk right by y'all half the time and I don't see a damn thing. And if you're having
Well,
barbecue and you
you're
guys are only
missing it.
firing it up after I leave,
You're missing
you're
it.
disappointing me because I
Got
have to
the
go to
blinders
McDonald's
on.
before I go home.
We also have VIP night. We invite all our sponsors. We rent the tower at Flamborough.
Beautiful.
Strodes this year is coming in and doing the big barbecue right at the track. Come and talk to me. I'll
When
make
is
sure.
that? When is that? Because
That's on my
no,
calendar. Right
granting you
here. What's
mark this
your
down.
calendar?
Yeah.
July 19th is VIP night at Flamborough. Strodes is doing the beef down there. We've got the food, we've got the tower. With all our sponsors, we always have tickets for them to come in with their families and enjoy it. We have our bike giveaway that night. We have so much fun with it. We expect 200 people up there this year.
That
That's
sounds like a
amazing.
solid count, eh? Nice. Well, you kind of started into it there, Ken. We want to give you the opportunity to shout out all the people that are in your corner that help the Soma Modifieds get to the track every week because it sounds like you guys are going to be doing it quite a few times this year. So who helps you out?
Okay, number one, BCW Lumber and Plywood out of Brantford. They're huge and they stand behind us. Trusted Car Care out of Kitchener. Penn Car out of Brantford. Napa out of Brantford is also one of our sponsors this year. Piano Movers, CW Piano Movers out of Toronto. Tiger Towing out of Brampton. New sponsor on this year is on Our Kitchens, Brantford. If you ever get a chance to go in there, they send food over to us. We may not fit in our cars after this.
Yeah, I was just going to say, with all due
Yes,
respect.
they're incredible. They're just absolutely incredible. Gibson Property Maintenance and Excavating out of Waterloo, Gin Tech out of Brantford, Strode's Barbecue. They're huge. They're behind many of our cars there and our whole series. Tegs Tools out of Hamilton. I know most of our people know Tegs Tools. Jack Greedy Limited out of Bolton, and these are all just great people. They step up, and you know what? And many of them have seen what we do, and they come to us and say, "Hey, we like what you're doing. We like your family atmosphere. We love that you're getting people involved, and we're there 100% with them, and we stand up for them 100%. So all
How
good."
do we find you on socials, Ken?
We do have a page. We have a web page you can go on to, which is a Southern Ontario Pro 4 Modified. You can go on that. On Facebook as well. If you go on to Southern Ontario Pro 4 Modified as well, again, is another great way to get to us. But I also have on Gmail, kenmercer55@gmail.com. And shoot me a letter, shoot me a note, and say, hey, I'm thinking about getting in, or my son and I are thinking about getting in, or daughter and I are trying to get into it. Come and try a car out for size. Come and I have a couple of them in my shop. Come on down, come and say hello. I can show you what it takes to get involved, and the amount of money. Like we have turnkey cars in a lot of cases. Guys are getting in for about 75 to $8,500 turnkey. Go racing, keep the car halfway straight, and at the end of the year, you still get your money, and it's still fun. So it's something we try really hard to do, is to keep the cost down, keep it affordable for a father son, father daughter, mother daughter, whatever the case is, and and give you good competitive racing. It's at the end of the night, you can throw a blanket over the top 5 or 6 guys on the track when they're coming down for the checkered flag. It's good racing, um, and you guys are welcome too. You make sure you come on over. If we're out there on a practice night and you'd like to take one out for a practice night and see what you think, it's how we get guys like you hooked. So
Yeah, there it is, right there.
I'm a little closer than you, Graydon, but I think it'd be a fun time.
yeah,
Man,
I'm sure we'll get you into one of the cars and take it out for and just get the feel of these cars. These are like go-karts on steroids, and they handle just incredible. So
well,
make
my
it
interest is
happen.
definitely peaked after this. We also, for what it's worth, we do have, we're welcoming in Kelly Martin and Cliff Hodgkinson of the Soma Modifieds this year as S&S Racing family members. So that's cool to have the presence on track in your club this year. So we're very excited about that. And John, how do you want to wrap up here, bud?
Buddy, I don't even know how you guys end your show. This is your. I'm just here as a guest.
Oh, we're bringing it. We're taking it into the house here now. So, yeah, just some closing remarks here for Ken. I know you guys touched base at Motorama before. What do you want to say to Ken, John?
Ken, man, it's an absolute pleasure again to talk to you again. It was great chatting with you at Motorama. Like I said, I had a bad idea of a bad image of the modifieds 5 years ago, but you guys have turned it around. I've been very impressed with what you guys have been doing with the club since, and I'm excited for what the future holds for you guys. And I cannot wait to see. Hopefully, you guys end up doing a Can America series at Thunder Road over there in Vermont. That would be really cool. Or
Road
even
trip.
Speed Weeks. And if you ever need a social media guy to come, with guys
We
down to one
appreciate
event,
it.
just I have a passport. I'm willing to go.
Yeah, sounds like a plan. I love it. Thank you. Thank you very much for all the work that you do to promote racing in Ontario. It, uh, it takes a little bit from everybody to make it work, and I thank you very, very much for your time.
Well, we definitely appreciate it, and seeing how it's the club is being built back up under your guidance is it's got to be gratifying for you, and it's got to be fun for everybody to watch for sure. And we can't wait to get there and sample some great food by the sound of it, and see some fast cars.
Yeah, you'll see good racing too. So
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
thank
So
you.
everybody, that's Ken Mercer of the Southern Ontario Modified Association and my wingman Jon Morrison for the night. We thank you all for tuning into this episode, and Ken, thanks again for your time.
You're very, very welcome. Have a great evening, everybody.
We'll see everybody next week on the Stickers and Scuffs podcast.
Thank you. Good night.
Thank you for watching the Stickers and Scuffs podcast. Subscribe, share, and like for more Ontario motorsports content.